May 17th, 1995. A stolen tank sends the city of San Diego into chaos. Inside, a deranged 35-year-old man, seemingly set on destroying everything in his path. This is the story of one of the strangest and most destructive rampages America has ever seen. The San Diego Tank Rampage. Shawn Nelson was born in California in 1959. After high school, he enlisted in the United States Army and was stationed in Germany as a tank commander. A few years later, he was discharged and began a successful career in plumbing, eventually starting his own San Diego business in 1991. But things soon began to unravel for Shawn. He long struggled with alcohol and methamphetamine abuse. His business was collapsing. Financial and health problems were mounting, and his wife had left him. Between 1994 and 1995, the police were called to his house 9 times for things ranging from domestic violence to stolen property. Neighbors were quite aware of him due to his odd behavior, such as digging for gold in a backyard pit and mowing his lawn at night. By all accounts, Shawn Nelson was losing control, and on that May afternoon, he decided to seize control in the most unimaginable way.
Mark Walton standing by at the armory to try to give us some answers. Mark?
Marty, it wasn't really that difficult to steal. What he did is he hopped over this fence behind me.
At around 6:30 p.m., Nelson drove his pickup truck to the California Army National Guard Armory. This was no highly secure fortress. The front gate was unlocked, and there were no guards on duty. Shocking as that sounds today.
I said hello, he said hello, and then after that he started up the tank and said goodbye.
Nelson simply walked onto the lot, and there, in front of him, were several M60 tanks. Cold War-era beasts weighing nearly 60 tons and armed with 105mm cannons. Nelson climbed aboard one of the tanks and managed to start it up. Despite lacking formal tank training, his years in the Army gave him just enough knowledge to figure out how to work it, and that experience was about to come back to life in terrifying fashion. After struggling with the controls for a few minutes, he figured it out. The 57-ton tank roared to life and smashed through a chain-link fence onto the streets of San Diego. Witnesses couldn't believe their eyes. A full-sized military tank was rolling down the streets, flattening everything in its path. Nelson wasn't firing the tank's main gun. Thankfully, the ammunition had been securely stored elsewhere, but he didn't need to. The tank itself was a weapon. He drove over fire hydrants, crushing cars like soda cans. He plowed through RVs parked on the side of the road. Streetlights snapped and fell as the M60 rolled forward without hesitation. As Nelson continued, police scrambled to respond. Officers and patrol cars were powerless to stop a tank. Their weapons couldn't penetrate its thick steel armor. Helicopters hovered overhead, capturing the surreal scene as Nelson took the tank onto State Route 163, a major freeway, grinding cars beneath the treads as terrified motorists swerved out of the way. The rampage lasted about 23 minutes, but it felt like forever. Nelson drove with purpose but erratic aggression. He appeared to target utility poles, streetlights, parked vehicles, but avoided harming people directly. Remarkably, no one was killed during the rampage itself, though millions of dollars in damage was left behind. At last, on State Route 163, Nelson tried to cross the concrete median. The tank became stuck, one tread spinning helplessly as it ground into the divider. This was the police's moment. 4 officers climbed onto the tank, They opened the hatch, finding Nelson inside, still wrestling with the controls, still trying to free the tank. A single officer fired his weapon. Nelson was struck and killed instantly. The city was left in shock. In less than half an hour, Shawn Nelson had caused widespread destruction, turning peaceful neighborhoods and busy highways into war zones. And all of it was broadcast live on TV, leaving viewers across the nation stunned. In the aftermath, questions poured in. How could one man steal a tank? Why was the armory so vulnerable? Could this happen again?
Major Ed Gale says the man who stole the tank must have had some armored experience in the Army.
We have a shut-off switch that unless you have ever been in one of our tanks and then had to turn it on and know something about the M60 A3 tank, you can't turn it on.
The incident now has the National Guard thinking about better security.
It is very difficult sometimes to protect taxpayers' property. We can do all the things that we know how to do by disabling tanks, locking things up, but if somebody really wants to steal something, they're going to take it.
The National Guard quickly tightened security at armories across the country, and Nelson's story became a cautionary tale, a bizarre footnote in American criminal history about desperation, mental illness, and vulnerability in surprising places. Thanks for watching. If you found this story fascinating, don't forget to like, subscribe, and click the bell for more deep dives into unbelievable true stories.